juma wodi ye no anwie peye ebi susu se ewo se ye san etu anamonden ene wo se ye de fa eno ho anwumbre ewo punch juma di so ewo Kessben television and on Kessben radio ebe sa asemi yaka ne ahwe ne nsunsan so ewo de mayen embra ye koye nim no anamon ben na yaye oman ewo se yetu ayi betimi asisi ensem ayi ti seye ano enwumbre yebesan ahwese esane obi edefine the politics say who guess what when and how. President apa wona wobeye metropolitan municipal district chief executives ewo ye district assemblies at say ewo Ghana. President power embrano echese ewo se assembly members ejo etumo ansa yetumi ya appointo no abedi ujuma. Now what ye see me ebi kwa na wenya 100% endorsement ebi nso so ekwa na akoye kwajubi edin enwumbre ye behwe se challenges eba no efrihen fapem no eyeden eden ne betumi aye afa ho so man se yekoye nim betumi asisi we ano na abre a nka ye hwe ni mu se nka ya assemblies yenya wona obesi president anem ewo ho na yakoye nim no baby akoye twe na mentwe baby akoye total rejection baby akoye se conditional se we ensia enya ade a we ebesie eden na yaye oman ewo se ye de fa ho enwumbre yetna se na ebesan ahwebiem se sansemi etai eba pa se president bia waba bia one word the other na ehun akohia se ewo se asoman itu anamon na yekope presidential jet ana say aircraft ebeboa na president etimi etukwan na akwantu na otu no ya dwen ni safety ya hwe ni security na ye science so ehwe so man ni sikasem so sen enetie aye balancing act enti enwumbre yatnasi nenti ya yenya se enhyehyeye ana se nkitahudie bi ekoso se ebeya enka Ghana ibenya aircraft foforo ye president tukwan a one ne entourage ana so one ne mpanyimfo ebeyuso empo eba se ya sojafo na posifo ekwa amanone on peacekeeping enso so kra obetimi ayuso we ni nyina no nka beboa na isikasem no etimi atutuye minority a 7 notice strong one says asemi ba emrahye bedwama enya ade a obe support hse Ghana sabria yewom sisi ye ho enso ya kankro a wo se ekoto new presidential aircraft ana say jet enwumbre sa asemi sen ena ye kano presidential jet conundrum eno ho nsem no sen enetie. The last but not the least, the special prosecutor was several notice say he will hit the ground running. Now issues were raised and ndema susu say odi esire ni so say obeye no bi aba na wochi ye behwe na no so ya hwe ho nsem ne aka ewe ni sunsan so a ewo ede emaye enwumbre say eye Kessben television ena wo hweyen se eye Kessben radio ena wotie se eye Kumase ene ne potam a wotie 93.3 ana se eye Enkran ene ne potam eye 92.9 ana se eye live a wo hweyen e Facebook ana se eye YouTube yemo akwaba ede ba punch jumadie eso na yehye jumadie ase na o sende ana se wode wadwenkyere onsusuye ana wasembisa edeba yebekenkan na wiase afa na nyina ensoso ate se ne awodwen enwumbre.
Lawyer, thank you.
Okay, so and then the last day of the 9th month of the year September 2021. ne bidijaw enwumbre and say accept your past without regret. Handle your present with confidence and face your future without fear. Meeting at the Ohene Gyan lawyer, thank you, and I'll say thank you to Enumbre and Penyinfua. Anyone ebedi juma ewo ye studios sa Kessben and Penyinfo emienu honorable member of parliament for Botiano English a man from honorable Sylvester Tete ewo ha Enumbre for the new patriotic party. Honorable Memoajo Memo Akwaba na umpom etisen.
Nyame de acheme lawyer.
Yeah, the body ase. Ninua Honorable George Low, former member of parliament for North Dai constituency for the National Democratic Congress, is a private legal practitioner ewoha Enumbre. Honorable George Low Memoajo. Na empom to sing.
Oh, I don't.
October any yesim no. You see October so they are back to work. Enti enwumbre e mamunya so akwaba edeba e punch jumadi so dia edikan kra no mention ase free sa issue of this perennial and say presidential debate and say discussion if president according to any ho ensensem da ben ene to ebitwa e wo se ekoso a edisa enkita hoyi ana se asoman edurumbre bia wo se ye se bipartisan approach to this issue once and for all saying enampa inform you if I no mention say in free honorable Sylvester Tete ho na menye na dwenche on this issue honorable as a nation as oman baby aye dru sisi e bi susu say ye per discussion any debate biaya it should not be say ye koto ana say ye nkoto aircraft aye president edibetu kwan
Lawyer me da say mamenchia ahwefo ni atiefo na menchia menua penin George Law me hu na che mateso peso ko voter regional chairman it is see an any abre we back from the grapevine me nim there if you are no be confirm me enyumre but of course a fine gentleman so in the voter region he will be a fine gentleman. I mean ebema basa yeah a course of elections mun ebe brase with the likes of himself helping the party. I mean it helps to enrich democracy. So me nim there if you are now with Johnny so Johnny so I wish him well. And I hope so. Gentlemen, indeed, Michiano Sonko, me who nache, Mr. Life out of Parliament is treating him very good. First, now it's great news. So I say about from Kakra.
What language pressure no Kakra?
Kakra food. So it will be so funny. I go for pressure. And better. But Yadanyamiase. We are all here to make our contributions. And no just say we know everything. It's a sentiment of the people and the dear Koso. Discussions with the I mean yes sure say and a bit political decisions dear. Unya political decision bia obia bebosi amount. Empo say umani pe duane se undi obi foforo gyanche se duane na odi ama no ne dose dodo obi kura na uma na duane na odi no ba bisa se na duane na ma odi tu so se odi kakra kan ho asankeye obi nso be ka se duane na odi ama me ne kura na nam no dose dodo. I mean no kire wo se can be na men can be no the freedom of speech is guaranteed under the constitution. Nti mpempi no wo ye omampani anase aban na opese osigina ebia na obroni bese wonye bold and decisive. Maybe I know a question na me bisa me say has there ever been a time na Ghana for beka se obia ho atono therefore aban is at liberty to do this. Even elections cry a hold wo man mukra people have reasons to say e kai ebo elections on the doors dodo. Na den en fie nan bia EC comes to parliament with so much money to conduct elections. Almost see a doors dodo. But beyond it, the technical reasoning, there hasn't been a time in the history of this country, Rebecca said, said now we are comfortable to do everything we want to do. Maybe it's yet to come. Say, Ghana or mine, so to the extent say we can afford bibia yepe. So the discussion now, and yet time I woman, and yet time I will say it is uncommon. As a member of parliament, it's the Minister of Defense that is giving the hint. The only time I bet me details of the purchase, Mestre Inuano minority for say, Yenya commercial agreement be, Yenya nkrata biya, I bet me a janaso. Empo answer na de no bebano. They say yesigina yesa yendi. Mikaipa say presidential Jubilee House and now Flagstaff House and now whatever it is. Oman penin kufo years say bebia ye wo the seat of presidency. The then opposition leader, former president, may he so rest in peace, Mills, ni NDC for. Ya hu chire yen na ko fasi kapuduo akwa ko si presidential palace okwa ko yese ehun sem bebre na woni mfoni agina mani so amene okasa sisi yi ebra na 2009 Yera Mills ansan ye beswe no in owini aba okrom ha na odi penny for that picture. It always a Germany so I will call Jubilee House or hwehwe ho lawyer minjiri so be kaipa or say this is beautiful. Sa da no na me hu say politics ya hwe ni ya to destroy this country. It's what them did ye di o man panin kufo wo man mu with that decision say in see baby a befitting. You see, it's an embodiment of the seat of governance. Because meaning say now workers be now work the seat of presidency. They were working from various places in the country, our capital city. Because the then castle was a very small place. Now Koshe baby had the seat of governance. But the man for at that time he thought say we didn't have money enough. So there's always been one justification say Ghana for chire womo. So if you want to do something for this country, indeed Ghana for chire womo. And Ghana for chire womo from the days of Gordon Gordgesbeck. And nipa bi who be chire womo even in 200 years to come. And they say one excuse. Now we don't look beyond it. Lawyer, there's been some statistics in the 8 years before Oman Peninko for Beko, one of the Nihani Nova notes say yen purchase jet mienu ma armed forces na yen hihye ba ko Oman Penin di betu kwan ne kese mu fa kon ya wo mo si eye a wo ho na de ade e fa nipa 17 maximum 19 Oman Penin entourage in 8 years Oman Penin Mills buy o si Ghana ho akire yen sin bibia ante ntumi nto. In the 8 years now, or tenas, commercial flight, or the year Juma, NDC, tenas, it cost or my $50 million. Your boss I can up to an NDC 8 years, and now about 5 years. Yeah, if you quantify it, commercial flight, it goes to about that tune. So the discussion, amount for a need all these informations. So if you weigh the long-term impact and the importance of the discussion now you're having, media, the only time I may go say a year and answer no until the commercial agreement comes to parliament with the details. Now what did you do? I bet you say yeah, commercial for our president and the entourage that travels and all that as against which is better in the medium, short, or long term for this country. Value for money. Yenya details. Na say ye mu bi sigina say we die yem pene. I don't think it is a fair argument to make because we are arguing in a vacuum. The argument of poverty,
it should not be a basis.
I mean, say what the year basis I say from the days of Gordon Gorgesbeck. And now from 1957, I independence. There hasn't been a time because the Ghana for
So, metu asem na si ya cost benefit
analysis.
Na no
inform yen decision. Now minority for the nyambaye was yen die yen pene. Na die na won pene.
Mamiko Honorable George Low na menyi na dwunche on this issue. Honorable yen hwe edien de wo se yede ye enyina so se ye be pene se ye beto ana se hu nhia mpo se ye beto. I debate the yes our discussion way.
Nisachia etifo ni omo hwe na michia minua slide. Chese abomodi aboma basu. No kikanka ne ama bebre. Na ya na yemi wanwa. Na yemi wanwa se minua no mo MPP. Omo ye madam fofo no. Chese emission bi dakra no mu dwen usakwe o ede. Since every obi o mehia ni bia matise we ade yesu yenya andru ho but enu so nkyere se
edru ho na akwanya
na ko goal ana wow say say am vice chairman nti say
o ko chairman
mi ko chairman ase ni hu nti no ene de
nkwa ne hia
edru ho na behwe lawyer wonim minua na kasa na unze na ma edin am itie no ni okan nyina no ideally obroni betie ideally no anka say G2 mega say okay they bia chese cost benefit analysis ni poverty we hoda at least they will always the poor will always be with us at a certain point and na chiro konkonika but first and foremost, why examples be brave? Yes, see Jubilee House. And indeed, President Mills, I can say, a beautiful edifice. But he didn't use Jubilee House. So he was a man of principle. He still didn't believe, say, Nanka that time, Nanka Jubilee House was the best of our priorities. So let's let that one pass. He chose to work from the castle and otimi ye na ejuma oboni dia ese otimi ye ansana obo ade be fan a friend ko. Now let's come back straight to this aircraft. First and foremost, like say what yes say what na aben mu da. Now we are opposition member of parliament. No there is information you can get sitting government MP kra onu onya. And I want to assure him say NDC for minority ni sa nyama na ekika no. He should never in one vein assume say we don't have all the information na yenim ne omoye. I'll give you an example. A year then that they be a president to fear. We know the aircraft, we know the company, we know the cost and everything. Now from parliament community me ya no. Almost the same company, there is no detail about president should decide so be to China. Or the private jet or be high jet. You be whom company, you be whom every detail about that. Answer no more binum kra dream about. So he should not commercial agreement in buy, but we know the details of what they are planning. We even know companies on our contacting. And we know the costs involved. But it is because any year in duty say the way to join into no. You are train a bar, a be discuss. Ghana for who say we are not just talking out of the blue. But a nundan chain. Masa. Again, you see there is time for everything. And as a natural a time to sleep, a time to wake up. A time to eat, a time to rest. And as a time to buy a presidential jet and a time not to buy a presidential jet. Lawyer, says your government here, I catch it say. COVID-19 no. Niyama bebre atosi, and yes, Anamoka. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, see, we are now trying to get out of the woods, and yes, Anamoka. Says ya bibia, I bet to simbia, I see COVID. Makase says ya, obi, if you not been feeding him, I see COVID in here. A lot of government projects are omunti minye you see COVID into you divert is can the solve COVID issues me boy that we pumped money to free SHS and actually in area to COVID. So in the midst of such a pandemic now you recover you know inti omu patch said the only thing that we can worry about at this time and he said president got top plane can see over them. Plain issue am go to he's saying commercial agreement. Minister no na dwin no odi ba no yenimo ono ana oba parliament make say we kra president be ndware wo nti no di omo go to no adware e wo mu ana and then what are the features are they looking at? But you see there is some consistency. So, your council president Kufuor wanted to buy a plane and I want to in 2008 and so who President Kufuor waba trans 4 years. A cow time I will be who top plane Eddie. I am saying how na a woman as a result of COVID na government and Kazanekano. It doesn't make it prudent at all, say. Of all the Nyama SSA to restructure our economy, no. Buying a presidential jet should be one of them.
Okay, so what's the argument why I was say ye kekan de masi ni na ye to ye bold na ye to a bigger aircraft president and then entourage omutu kwanya ube so honorable George Low so actually why at this time and you prudent say ye betu sa na mono wa wo hwe enyumbre a wotie yen wadwen kire unsusuye ene wasembisa no etisen is it about timing and I say it is about cost benefit analysis emu de wen ena ye kono punch jumadi ena wo hwe enyumbre a wo sign etie enyumbre Kessben television and we are also live on Facebook, we are also live on YouTube, you are also listening to us via 92.9 and 93.9. Honorable Sylvester Tete, Member of Parliament for Botiano, English, among from Ewoha Enyumbre. Honorable George Low, former Member of Parliament, North Dai, Ewoha Enyumbre, who is also the Vice Chairman of the NDC in the Volta region. Enyumbre, ye drink Ghana ho, Ewo sa Jumadi eso. Yes, quick we be on this issue.
It's quite intriguing, honorable former member of parliament and incoming regional chairman and then the currently regional vice chairman to make us a minority for him even before the commercial agreement comes to parliament. They know the details of it. It's quite intriguing. Well, I won't fault him. Now, what I know is not true. They don't have anything. They don't have anything. As of now, that the details of a commercial agreement is not available. They don't have it. Yes, I'm saying before it comes, you know.
We know the companies you've contacted. We know the kind of figures you are looking at.
Yes.
We know the kind of structure you are looking at.
Okay.
It has not been translated into one single document.
Yes,
but
so
we are monitoring everything.
For us,
every inch
for
of
us as a government and as a member of parliament, it is not in my place to be speculative. So you wait for the government to bring the bill to parliament, the agreement to parliament. Then you can scrutinize it. And you know, so it's unfortunate, say, they have to go to the extent of saying, say, we won't even accept it. That's quite unfortunate. But let me say that the kind of jet you want to buy, it will serve two purposes. Not only for the comfort of the president, but indeed it's been configured for the use of the president as well. The Ghana Armed Forces and their commercial travels. But this, what we have currently, is taking about 19 passengers. So if the president is going on international travel that requires him to take more than that, majority of them, president travel with security and all, they have to go commercial. And I've just given you over 50 million in the 8 years that the NDC served, that they didn't take that decision. For 8 years, we spent over $50 million. We continue to spend that money. The armed forces, currently what we are looking at what can take up to about 100 passengers. So it's commercial and then presidential as well. So that the armed forces itself, the armed forces, every now and then they are traveling. And they charter flights to travel for peacekeeping assignments. So if they have it, all the monies they've been paying to commercial carriers will be now saved for the country. And it can pay for itself over a period of time.
Okay.
You see, so any idea, it is not for the comfort of the president to say, oh, President Akufo-Addo. I mean, the jet will outlive Akufo-Addo's administration. And in any case, when you start this kind of arrangement, it might even take you 2-3 years before you birth it. By that time, it is obvious that the president might have leaved office. So what happens? When President Kufuor was going to do the Jubilee House, what didn't people say? It's a classical example that, look, like he said, the poor will always be with us. But I reckon that the times are quite hard and difficult for majority of our people because of COVID. A lot of people have lost their jobs as we speak. That is why government has brought in a lot of intervention. We have not closed an eye on that, to the extent that they even thought that the stimulus package in that sector is just too much. And we have not relent. Government are not relent on its effort. So for me, I think that, yes, everybody has a right to express an opinion on this matter, one way or the other. But the bigger picture is what we should be looking at as a country.
Honorable Jolo, should we not be looking at the bigger picture?
In all things, it is important to look at the bigger picture. But bigger picture now, based on what foundations? For instance, the Awakano, or say peacekeeping. But the peacekeeping budget is taken care of by the BUN. What we do is that we pre-finance and then they pay, they reimburse us. So, listen, at the close already, I don't believe, say, Obia can say, when it becomes critical at the right time, maybe we can't make that decision. I think that I preface, we see there is time for everything.
And the time Benny withdrew.
And I make her say, Minia, say Siano, the same government, because of COVID. It is a whole government who say our because of COVID. And the Sika Kakran, one, young bon who buy. Yefanya tutu nyama ye, yefanya nyama, be maya fee or how na a woman. What you say? Ediaba. And I feel on one. The other thing is fine. Then, as a country, we can sit back and say that, oh, say, Siano, I want you to know what system name, no, I ye kakra. And you know, what are the things, what are our things must we do? But who say, Siano, we are beginning to see, say, yeah, Papa Akufo-Addo, no, or President Akufo-Addo, no, Oba, you know, because Oba protective public person. We do want to see, we say, public care protection, cost. Because me tia nyina won me phone na me calculation. Calculate 14,000 per hour times the average of 12 hours a president be travel to one country or the other times the number of days or and the number of hours or remember. Let's just say every president travels. No, look at how much he is spending. But the point we are making is that the point we are making is that just suppose that says Siano, president can go by commercial flight, as President Mills did over time. Or 50,000. But I don't want to agree with him. 50 million. I don't want to agree with him. I mean, Ghana, what we don't know how to, what politicians don't know how to do is to sacrifice their comfort for the common man. Because in other parts, even the UN agencies, Canadian government officers, they go on economy. What do you say? The president and his core team can fly first class on a commercial flight, and I say business class. The rest can fly economy. it makes it cheaper. They will get there all the same in their numbers. What you say? So what we should be looking at is, so far as we are concerned, at this time, it is not prudent.
Okay.
It is not a prudent decision to make. Say, you go top plane, no president, no dear Konabasa. To what end?
Okay, so answer number honorable Joy, answer number one. The president to kwan. Now her entourage. Now calculate say of commercial plane, yako charter, sky yetua over a period, ABS transit, near yes analysis na ebe so okay. And ka bia ene ye titi and sase na ye to sa 100-seater plane na ebia nke be save yen so and so amount of money in the near future. Enti ne ye turn in ne yanke be bwan.
Oh, and I can say. You see, you see the essay as an idea.
The factor.
Say, Siano, the essay, there's a
okay.
That is my whole argument. My whole argument is Siano, essay, the essay, then essay. The essay, say, or how Ghana, a woman says, as a result of COVID, na economy, at Pansina, Husono. Yem, be able a bit me and Yabiano, Yem Fambois, na Yem Fisa or Hanim. Ye film, na comfortable at any point in time. No. You bet me I share some commercial flights in Ghana
ever been comfortable?
Well, someone has
Ghana ever been comfortable? Because even if it's comfortable, I'm saying that, you know, the one when all the indications point into a positive direction better than what we inherited, you still think say Ghana because every indicator they measure economy and Akufo-Addo, it looks better than yours. It looks much better than.
It's not true. The figures don't speak.
But
like that.
It's the only measurement, the only tool for measurement. The indicators, the inflationary rate and the time. The rate of inflation in this country. Interest rate. The rate at which you see the depreciating. These are key fundamental indicators. No, me paucho. Look, there's no way you can measure. You can't go to everybody's pocket. Yet I say, send a wall bottom, send a wall subo. We compare and check the purchasing power of the ordinary Ghanaian. The rate at which are the prices of goods and services, a cost a standard of measurement all over the world. And nothing that you can check every economy all over the world. Say economy is a standard of measurement. And let me see, so indicators they measure the standard of measurement. What we inherited from you is better than today. But no, you are even complaining. Say actually, so there can never be a time. Say Ghana for let me tell you something. Okansembi say the armed forces travels is being financed by the United Nations. What it means is a good news because you already have a source of funding what we are going to get into. Because you pre-finance. They bring the money, you pay to commercial carriers. Commercial carrier. And it's a war will be the money comes to you. That is number one. So already no, commercial agreement you have sources of income. I will be generating. And then a very good source of income. I can pay for itself over a period of time. What's that here? So in the sub-region, say will be you bet me for Ghana for, for Togo for, for Burkina for. You make money for it. So it's a good source of revenue for you. Number two, the costs are on penny. I would say on fly first class. Now other people should fly economy. Look, you might get to Europe and you have to do about 3 different countries within Europe. Now say fly KLM. Now you can see Amsterdam Schiphol. What next? Now president is pulling his luggages doing transit. Is that what you want to say? But I'm telling you, under your regime, you spent over $50 million.
Which I'm doubting.
Yeah, you may doubt it.
No, I'm
but the record speaks for itself.
So I know. Show me the record.
So I'm telling you,
show me the record.
So you want to tell me for the 8 years at President Mills, because Koku Anyidohu told us, even internally in this country, they had to use a chartered flight to Tamale. He nearly killed the president. Koku, yesterday, he was saying it. The aircraft on 3 different occasions, a presidency. One happened in the US. You see, I mean, these are facts. This is a jet that cannot do a long haul. Any distance, you have to stop, refuel it. Ask why President Mills was not using it. So I'm telling you, say,
now for can say anye 9 hours anko Uganda.
Na 9 hours ko Uganda.
And now who can anye 9
It's stop to refuel.
And because so what is wrong with
no, there's so much wrong with it. So Michelle will say, so talk idea and there. Now what sources of income? Now what you spent on commercial flight, all can come on board, never reduce cost, amount of safety, everything. It is better over a long period of time. Sabi, ukoto jet no maybe 1 year, and not 2 years or it's a long term. So normally commercial agreement will take about 20 years to repay for itself.
Honorable Jolo, finally, on this one.
You see, what we are saying, he hasn't answered our question.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that, one, and fundamentally, is this the right time to want to buy?
Has that ever been right?
Yes, because I am saying that we are in peculiar circumstances at this moment. So, that is number one. Number two, inflation. Lawyer, for the past 4 years, Nana Akufo-Addo, President Eba Abayem, petrol and now me can say petrol. How many times? What is the price differentials? Now we catch them say the rate at which goods and services include. Inflation can be for academic purposes because in Ghana we are doing inflation targeting economy. Yeah, just 20 years ago. Now say obi anya inflation targeting economy. We are the only ones who still, because of propaganda as if for anything, we are doing inflation targeting. Inflation targeting there doesn't indicate anything. No. Who they are voice pop second ha. Now microphone can't say inflation into no wotomi.
Okay.
I mean this kind of things they are laughable. Look, these indices are bogus to the extent say it doesn't translate into a man's real life. What you are saying? So, what we are saying, say, a lot of people had lost their jobs because of COVID. A lot of businesses have collapsed. There are so many things that government they are now struggling to kickstart. Let's put all our resources where our mouth is. Better play. What you are saying? Won't top Benz, our business go. You can buy a Toyota Yaris.
Look, even free SHS.
But when everything goes on well, you buy a Mercedes.
Even free SHS. Former President Mahama says if he has that kind of money, he will not invest it in education. Okay, they even had, and they use this same argument even against free SHS. That at where we are now, we can't fund free SHS.
And are you able to fund it? Are you able to fund it?
Is it in arrears? For 5 years.
Oh, now for 5 years.
Let me tell you, when we were not doing free SHS, the schools in the northern region that were on bursary, they had to be closed down because you couldn't even pay that. But for 5 years consistently, over 800,000 more kids who couldn't have gone to school had gone through education. Where the former President Mahama even said that if he had that kind of money, he wouldn't have invested in education. Why your former member of Parliament and Education, Senior Okran, may he so rest in peace, said that we will never see free SHS and at the current generation. See, these are worst comments coming from the NDC. So for your stock,
you are tickling yourself and laughing. And then everybody know. What we have today are more fair no free SHS. Yeah. It's not free. I look at the people in secondary school. I spend more money.
What money do you spend?
On them? Even food. The nobody who cost the Ani and Kolani dinner.
Can you imagine?
As you can imagine it, because I send money to the school.
When you were
recently,
when we were paying fees and they were paying, what kind of food were being?
They were eating better.
Which food?
Thank you.
Tell me the menu. I went to secondary school. I went to a boarding school. Tell me the menu. The menu hasn't changed. Even today.
No, the menu has changed.
How does it change?
How has it changed? What kind of this?
Look, when I was in secondary school in Ghana,
okay,
we were eating gari.
Yeah, we were eating gari.
We were eating gari. We were eating gari.
There's nothing free about it.
Millions of kids out there. Millions of kids. More. We had a country where 100 to 150,000 kids could not afford or access senior secondary education because of poverty. And you have a president with a vision that all these kids, for 5 years, assuming you have 100,000, that couldn't have made it. For 5 years, 500,000 of our youth has been given a future.
Where are you getting your figures from?
I'm telling you.
I'm also telling what I because at the point I did every year go back to Ghana Education Service and see the incremental jump every year.
No, but that's what I'm telling you.
So what you're saying is nothing new.
It will even be more. I'm telling you that
hitherto to free
SHS in this country, the statistics has been that if you look at the number of kids that complete JHS and the number that progresses to senior secondary school, between 100 and 150,000 were left out.
Where?
They don't get opportunity to go to school. That is why when we brought the double track, the schools were over full because everybody had to go and government had to be responsible. Even that you had a problem.
You see, that's of free SHS. I think that we should have a national
debate
because they all can.
When we were doing 4 years to game, national debate is an attempt to get it cancelled, and you will never get power to do that.
I am saying to you, say, they all can.
Your constituency,
value
your
for
region.
value.
What value?
Value for value.
Look, when you want to measure it,
what
the best time, the best performance time of WASI happened under free SHS.
Amudi muto exam questions. What are you talking about?
Look at this. Are you saying this?
I am saying this because I know for sure.
You don't know.
You don't know. Very soon the universities will admit. The lecturers have already started crying.
Okay. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you.
When the kids have made the mark and they are going to the universities, you are saying that the lecturers will do what?
They are even crying.
They are crying.
The kind of students you are bringing to them, only God knows how to mold them.
Okay. Abo enongocha pa onsima aduanan enwoche punch jumadi ena wason egusa uti osan ehwe enwumbrei. Honorable Sylvester Tete ewo ha, Honorable George Low ewo ha. Yedwen Ghana ho enwumbrei ewo jumadi so enchakra na yebeba na yahwe say endorsement of these president nominee for the municipal, metropolitan and district assemblies. Then ena ekoso at our various district assemblies. Then anamong ena wosie to as a nation I betimi esi sadiano if ye pese ye strengthen ye local government system ewo ye various places then wosie ye. Enumbre ye nimpanyimfo etwetwe saa enkomo ye won so wadwenkyere unsusuye ana wasembisa o hwen a wo number na ewo o screen so WhatsApp line betimi asend ye WhatsApp message sa utie yen ensuso a obesimi asend ye text message ewo 0550567929 0550567929. You can send us a WhatsApp or a text message na yakenkan emewiase afanan nyina ate. Now president said yamamu enhyehyeye ekire no was opawo wona obekwa akoda ye district assemblies na Ghana hayate no ano na waye president sienamfo enti say ye metropolitan municipal and say district assembly president Paul Bia na was assembly members ekoto ne swaba na ye genetum na eno enasese ekoso ye hyase last week ebikwa wodekobso a na wate ahwe ebikwa na wanya 100% endorsement as say be aye totot be aye percentages ene ne keka ho we ya maybe ka se yensan come back na president asema na nkode to Ghana fo enim se yenkoto aba na yenyi mpanfo a egidi ye se obebua yen no e wo se yesan ekohwe ebiem ebinim so se o ye manage ni sa nkakra ukone ye reject wa na enye outright rejection na ukobiem ebia na ayeye anyeyi a na president nominate another person. Let's manage the process. It shall be well. Ehin ena yemfa ye ni enchre enwumbre men company for na menye wana dwenchre on this issue. Me shall say in free Honorable George Low. You heard this and sama babo nti ebikwa na wenya endorsement ebi nsuso kwa na total rejection ebikwa na first round wenya knockout ya ono aya endorse no ono nsuso a enye total rejection enti na one last opportunity so obekwa akọ try na luck na wahwe ne a ebesie ye expensive luxury ini see yes I experiment we ye to aba once and for all anka we nyina to betwa wadwen kire on this issue net saying
Lawyer, in one vein, I think say we share consensus no build ba say anka election of MMDCs na anka ebia ebebua. But okay say the last time na anka yago referendum na yedi ba pass salo. NDC the conditions be see ho. Say esa ban hwe na niama bi. I don't remember most of, but my conditions be say aban, but aban anye. So we decided say be boycott. Now say boycott no na lead to the fact say president had to pull that program off. Say ampanapa government is serious about resolving this problem now. They should engage the NDC and find a middle way. Now yenina ejitum say this is the best approach I be use. Na ebia maybe say referendum na edebe at another time and that is to start with. Means no, so I can tell you say for a fact say in as much as obia feel say oh maybe elections in Buana, the local government structure as it is now, no, I think that we have just not spent time say yebe say nyama to sin you be correct you. Because anka sadia we the anka nyedin, but acquire politics and acquire competitive politics. Maza in every unze president bre answer na all pound microphone because in every locality no binumu feel say omo ye juma na omo na eso omo ko obizu ahimfo bizu say o ko asimesi na say okwa obetie ni ebe ka che no de aye juma obisu godfathers who party ni mu we be ka say there be me makola ni person no ye DC wa no MC wa pinso na president kan ni su brino but nyami cha de wa ye ni kakra sa list na pie na list ni pie kra sa na jona na fight ni start here because expectations here then are huge. The truth of the matter me can say one, the whole position of the metropolitan district municipal chief executive. For me, I'm beginning to feel that sometimes no akoye a conduit to be a man for feel say me kwa ebia menya bibi kakra and na potem hono party executives no think say they should control the political class there into no kakra who corner DC want to be firm on the ground. So this is what the law says. I'm applying the law. Now sometimes they lock their offices and throw them out. Wow. President Apa Nkrofo Ekra. Look at some of the things like today. Somebody got 6. Yeah, 6 against 20. Into what decisions went into Nippon send on the pound because there's assemblymen now more on Nippon to the extent say 6 be per IBA ni close allies, you know, voting man. But also our politics, unfortunately, and I always say is by courtesy of our good brothers, the NPP. So I will jump at me, but I'm not bothered. Has been monetized to the extent say the assemblyman Niko Kosi in sorry into a binum cry to me as answer okay Charlie rejecting Uber two times. So first rejection of the 1,000 buyer, second one the 2,000 ever. If you are third one you're charging 5,000 at least almost ubanya this year dino na obi as one and sikedi. Into Obana on boy and crown or fee and crown. So there are many political dimensions. There are many things that goes into it. Thought they be even tribal politics. Obviously way of crow way sadisi nyanya bida into my dear mobile crown say or more I repeat your mono. Mono mu break because one most of them I always say anybody who is a DCE I ought to be by MP. I respect the person a lot. Because this is put them on. By the time you finish your first term, the enemy say why no. Very few of them are like Obiabe Gina Tumso, this is your boy Juma, because sometimes you have to take firm and strong decisions. Demolitions, sighting of wrong building, this is my order say stop work, listen, all those things. Obiba honor see this obi timi kura ba so this me here scar to taxi bo ame na o si oni bia onya post on fien uti office na him for we dia kona basa obi ape na de. So there are so many dimensions that goes into these things. And the internal political matter. In the area, we can only analyze the bigger picture. But MPP for Ankazano, they should do some introspection. Say, why is it that these things are happening? Because NDC, when we come to power, 2025, you have power DC is the power one. It is not expected that each and every one of them will get 100%. I'm sure that some of these back may be there. And also problems, remember. But the bigger picture, they say, send us like a bigger picture. Say we should dialogue more. Now, say election in a we should do the proper things and then let the facts come say election in because election no eba boa obi tse slide pa. Okay. Boa no buta. Onim dia maker.
I mean call ho na menwe na dwunto on this. Honorable. Yes, election no bank ebeboa pa but you heard this the broader picture say e dey na ekoso na ne ye hu because baby to say we share whole KME na yabo sampine din now obia before cry over then there's a condition say ansana ye be endorse no na je say legacy debt bi e wo no ye nya assurance aban se obetua enye saa ye no I was ekoto aba no. This is somebody afia na yaboni dia ebia nko nya kwanya baya e no behwe mwa ene ndem obetimi aya obetimi dia boa aji say ye ni say so ye hwe eno ene ebe pue free other places total rejection over na see dwaben. I mean 6 people. He is the chairman of the New Patriotic Party ewo dwaben constituency 6 outright rejection as I just say president assign ebo. I mean places bia obi akwa want me anya threshold enti I just say omkoto ne so ababa kon say ensesan ya abanti no so ko second one na ya ntwe amade ne na la wala sa no hello say
lawyer NDC for omodi omaya bro senye democracy ya mu bi do democracy kameka say NDC party ya party o say ye bra e wo maimu iguno batuka na democracy nti etrimodin ewudie wo mo di oman yewu e na wo mo atwa wo mo ho a you see enwanwa onim honorable George lo onim pa the reasons in NDC for say wo mo to no for the referendum na a sheer wickedness. There's nothing. Let me tell you, maybe I will refi, but let me take you down memory lane. Hula Baloo na they started Jerry John Rawlings time. NDC time, Professor Mills time. You see, in Kwanta, in his former way, they shot a DC dead. NDC time. He was shot dead. Unconfirmed, it was alleged, said people who didn't like him. So they never cough about it. He was shot dead in Kwanta. He was finally shot dead in Kwanta because they didn't want him.
You don't have information.
Well, you have it, say it. But I'm telling you, it's alleged.
It has nothing to do with
Tubo.
And you don't go there.
Lawyer, Yakwaba, you say over 20-something years. Adiye MYN. Na Omampeni in his wisdom. NDC for the Constitutional Review Committee. NDC for the intricacy. Ninda intro. Upa NDC one won't be wo baby. Constitutional Review Committee edi by say. Omampeni empa onipa miensa. Adia ye pese ye tu so aba na obi atumi gine bi no. Omampeni empa onipa num. Na omunko Public Services Commission. Na Omampeni Public Services Commission and shortly stay nipa 3. Na omunko to omo so aba. Akwekwa na nsem wuti bi we. Kwekwa na intricacy nsem yi. Na reasons are NDC for the man say e ba power na santimemu MPP for the D at is way onti wo mu nyina be MPP for ye ntumi ni wo mu nye adwuma. I mean these were the reasons.
No, it's not true.
So why?
It's
I'm giving you. I go back and check. The reason why they said they should vote no, I will say conditions. Yen yina ye nimsa adie MY. Oman Penny say, we MPP ni, we NDC ni. Go and pick your form, say, akwenya betoha. Met me a DC, say MP. MP, your parliament, independent candidate wom, NDC for wom, MPP for wom, and OBC will be quiet. The masses vote for you. Then you are counting all these problems. You go to now the idea. The fire by your 500 subordinate and more NDC for. Yemfa subordinate and more NDC for. One more pen canco. At the papa be a bomb, my mu be NDC for Bebuego. Because of their parochial, political, and partisan interest. So, and then when they sit and they discuss these matters, I feel sorry. I feel sorry. So, in the 21st century, the assembly members of Mukwakotua Bado, they were voted for. But the Ogadie must say there be. Because you have power, or no you be used no. You have backwardness. Look at what Oman Penny had to go through to appoint 260 of them. Now, 21st century. We are saying for now, the same way. Now, a man you cook a state is saying this is a penny. Now, yentia saying there, Oman Penny in power nipanum. Nianko Public Services Commission. Into your women organizer, no afa youth organizer, no afa NDC secretary, no afa we know kwesiko no jira kwanti. Na sema ukoti ni penny semboy. Enye NDC for nka we beti no baby. Guoma any masse. Ya any opportunity. Now they should engage. Engage NDC with this archaic mindset.
If you like, don't engage.
Do you engage people with this mindset? Archaic mindset.
If you like, don't
we
engage.
will not engage. But Ghana for will know. We will not engage. But let me tell you. Look, if you say bre. Okay. Koya moja tabi nole. Koya moja tabi nole. Oh, keda nobana. You know why? You think say NDC for MPP under NDC, DCs were chased out of their bungalows. You think when procurement documents, thermally, procurement processes were going on, party food soldiers go there, storms there, and take procurement documents and tear them into pieces. Oh. I remember when you came to parliament, food that were served members of parliament on the day of swearing in, NDC food soldiers went to Parliament House and took over the food. Please come. Wait. I'm telling
MPP,
you.
I
am telling you, sir. You see, I am telling you, sir. I am telling you, sir. These are excesses of things I feel, sir. We need to change it.
Oh,
Namu ene musi. Baby, we are see akwa doing. Baby, we are see akwa doing. And this in him, the say, Oman Penny, kwekwana intricacy. And nada acquire NDC for woman. Yampa ni panum. Nianko Public Services Commission. Yanko Soniso, Emra 3, Nianko 2 Moswaba. What in your way? I just say, we MPP ni want to win Jinebi. We are CPP ni want to win Jinebi. In the NDC for no Quanenko says Cow, and go to Moswaba. We want to be that. And your man Penny, Akufado said, Debbie, Yemu, Obi or Ghana and your team and Temho is qualified to run for that office. And Nuntimusi may enjoy referendum. We will not engage you, but the Ghanaians will know. And then you
say, Mama, referendum. Yes, you
said that you won't know.
Yes, you are to announce your force.
I won't. I'm telling you, sir. You think, sir, you can hold the whole country to ransom. Ghana for one tier, a G down Mutrimo. Ghana for 8 years. Nyamin Chadie, Adie, and now a bit America. And then Obitie me from South Carolina. Obitie ewo Florida. Obitie wo Techima. And then Nyamin Chadie WhatsApp, Facebook, streaming. Radio so streaming. Facebook bibi
Sure.
Television so near wo. NDC ni say wo mo de. Wo ye di ba ene, wo betu etia 100 because mo pentrick is sequence what that Ghana for.
Because we are giving you a superior area over here.
Ghana for etia is a NDC for adwene say. Yes, you enko 2 MMDC so abado. O man penina ante baby. Non pa onipa 5. Ni enko so ni so Emra 3. Ni enko say Ghana for sika and 2 NDC for now so aba. We uti ni penin semboy. between that one and
the program no
okay so the way forward no
the way forward say look we have made the proposal Ghana for and support to ye even if not under President Akufo-Addo time the next MPP president will bring it back again the interesting thing ni say ene MMDCs ye power mo mutu esika assembly members no and then no master under NDC they were paying money.
Why did you ever?
Oh please, don't do the politics like that.
No, did you receive?
There is a canker we need to cure in our body politics. And see, assembly members bear 20 who feel say they should go and vote for somebody or you're competent and credible. Now, Marco, just as you said, say, more money. How did you know? Have you ever received some?
Because now when they were some were interviewed,
So
really
lawyer,
from the
do you believe that under the NDC when they were appointing them, they were not paying money?
Well,
no, it's an open secret.
It's an open secret. So we need to cure this mischief.
mischief.
We need to cure this mischief. Now you're moving forward as a forward-looking.
But you see, let's take away some of that. Even say to Omuswaba. Omuko prime is Omunjuiska.
No, and no make a choice.
So it's hard to
make a choice.
Let's face the issues.
And who on the part 20? To aba take a decision. Ma 400,000 residents. The tendency or probability of bribery at that 30 people compared to 400,000 or 200,000 or 100,000. Obviously, it could not be the same.
A bit you are losing bonus. Obi selected where nipa 20. No target be 8.
Mama Mr. Wasemo.
Mom's casa munko to no.
I am a memfinity. I am a memfinity. I am a memfinity. Sanya maneba. And to say, Ufi say, ye biemo mitihoi. Yes, be nominations are. It is not limited to me alone. Say, minko DMP. Obi our constituency who be ano. Ewa hokwanya. Wabom ene chere wado. So you are at liberty to run, even not on any political party's ticket. And to be aware in who face me a brand here, me want him dear, but me what assembly yeah, he can go for elections. So that is what we are talking about. Now I dream Bonnie mindset that say you train or money mercy because of your parochial partisan interest. And then when who so as well. Power. And an unlikely event that you ever get power, it will be more chaotic than what we are seeing today.
Oh, it's like
more chaotic than what we are seeing today.
I can assure you,
it can be more chaotic. Me, what is happening today? Look, I anticipated it. Me bomb pie or Miami Assembly, Gas out. We are going to do our way tomorrow, and I'm praying for 100% incident free. I just don't want to because of my activities will be. Me call our assembly members. Oh, I'll tell them, you've worked with him. 100%, 1 hour, we are gone. Now assembly business and koso. Ahina mitua. Mejiska now, o person kutua. You see, so lawyer, media. I'm a member of the local government committee in parliament. For me, I've been round, I've traveled round, and I see say ye per se, ye local governance structure, a ye jume year. Yentuaba. Now utuaba na. You see, why empida? On what I'm saying, the MMDCs, they don't go and meet the people. And then, that we call kwewu. Mitiwa na jomi kweye na miko da kwewu. Mitiwa na mi didi minanfo for miensa ene kame hon. Honorable OPK of Impriso. Any another MP yetio. And why somebody came, honorable, kwano, nye. Because me na me call forward Ekoye campaign, they met me. But meanwhile, this is not a job for the MP. But when the members of the, and I said municipal chief executives, they go to the communities and canvass for vote, they will know the problems of the area so that they will fashion out because they have the mandate to generate revenue. There are a lot of untapped revenue opportunities at the assemblies they don't do. So we are always waiting for government funds to come. Assembly be or generating 1 million has a potential to generate 5 million a year. Any assembly. But innovation, a lucky innovation. And you talk of pressure from political parties. Thousands of people. In my constituency, 115,000 registered voters. 17 executives. One opportunity to be a DC. You don't think our destiny is tied to yours. It is tied to yours. So we'll give you the pressure to also benefit. It is not way. That is where it is everywhere. But when the person is elected on merit, now it is not based on party, and I handpick from them, the pressure will be measured.
Pressure will be measured. Honorable Jolo.
Pressure will be measured. You see, he has his pros and cons. I mean, one example, final example of my. Are the assembly members you elect here? Don't we open it up for Obiase Ombra? But how does it always end? Is it not on political lines? I mean, tell me that in every area.
I have called for assembly members to be elected on party.
So you let me finish. Let me finish. So at the close of the day, if the NDC proposes the friend is saying Mills say you know look at constitutional review commission. What proposal did they make?
They brought open elections.
You see, local government act ni local government structure no. PNDC NDC dia o. Enye MPP dey here until omukura no mo nti foundation as. The reason why local government was structured, say president never power DC, is that the president presents a unified program for which Ghanaians vote. Into party be a manifesto or the abano, a party media, and that is what the people of Ghana once or 1 year 2 amount there. Let's just say manifesto no believe in. So the president has to have people all across. Any people who believe in his philosophy, who believe in what the president seeks to do. What do you say? So, your suggestion is yes, Buemu. First, like a president, bebo lawyer, or bebo udine, no, you see, increase that number, shame, and pick 5 good people of a certain who is who president, no, and you will now be decided, say, Kofi Neko, another way Neko. Public Services Commission, and we are professionals, and we hire in conforma abino. Yen shortlist you shortlist you there are 2 Sweden. What do you say? At the close of the day, no, a filter system, no. Gradually, you are getting quality as you go down. What do you say? Then other factors will come in.
Okay.
And Nina, you can't say MPP for no, because Masa, whether you like it or not, I mean, my example. My example. When him said this is Biano, or no, dissect. Chairman there.
But now, we can change it if we want to. That's a chairman there. And he's the representative of the president. Now, let's assume, say, me, I got to be so about one dying. And I'm about DC. And it is possible because it is predominantly NDC. Now, me, now, I see president policy, biaba. It is not friendly to all social democracy. What do you think will happen to that program? So there's a reason why we are saying, say, the person must come from the same political tradition across board. Okay.
The all can say, NIS, Obi can say, Ashanti region, why MPs in Ashanti region are no more than us. But doesn't the country run? That is not what we are talking about. We are talking about a focused programmer. President India man for everybody has bought into it. Implementers who should believe in the program.
And there's some decentralization you're defeating.
Debbie, because when him said the decentralization itself, structures back slowly. Me have been an assemblyman for 2 assemblies. Meaning power. So in a certain vein, let's assume say for agri sector. And you're planting for food, and in this structure, me feel say social democrats and believe in planting and food. Me would they benefit from private? Free education. When him say now the Education Act and the local government act is putting education and everything under the office of the DCE, NEMCE. So if you are a DCE who doesn't believe in it, what will be the fate of free education rollout in your district? So we are saying, say, because of such national programs, you know, give the people a choice between 3 people. But these are people that are shortlisted for competence and other things. So that a couple now, we will get somebody who believes in the government's own program. Then he becomes the president representative in that district.
Okay, but Mami Bisawi, yes, I will not. Ebasa, Yemfan say Obi Wawa, Ebi onye NDC, onye NPP. And you know, Ebi or technical expertise bia, and kaye to aba, obetimi ejina, the panel or honina beto aba de amano. But say system ya wo kind ye de badia, and yet likely say President be power na candipa 5 for no. Public Services Commission best on so among Maka 3 no. And eventually it is the system that suffers. Because we will lose this person.
No.
Wabrekwa ibianko no ko jina on merita. Ka yebeto no so abama na bepua.
And nuntina government appointees na wo ho. Who dey here? And the government appointees na here kano. We just have politicized them. Ideally no. I got onto my district assembly first because I was a lawyer.
Okay.
They wanted a lawyer on the assembly.
A lawyer on the assembly. Okay.
Who dey here? So when I went, I became chairman of Justice and Security. So, sir, local government structure, no, it caters for some of these things.
Okay.
So basically, no, it is not a lost cause, sir.
Look,
there are avenues or move contributing, and they can contribute to the ideas.
NDC for doing way near the baby my idea in Grover way. You see, the fact is that President Mahama, in an unlikely event, it won't happen. That he gets opportunity.
When I hear things like this, I become very happy.
I say yes, unlikely event.
Yes, I become very happy that it won't happen.
Yeah,
happy and obey.
Because now, from what they are saying, the Constitutional Review Committee brought a recommendation, open contest. Now, Sabi, nipa mo power mo, so munye say juma we no. You don't even believe in their recommendations.
Oh, Masa.
You don't. Masa. Because in your white paper, white paper they produce 5-3 arrangement.
Mu refi ade pa o.
Mu 5-3 arrangement no. And the buy. But media, the American say NDC for. Adwin we no mo dey seeking political power. Adia ye pese ye leapfroggy and development no. They will take us back.
Madam was messing about when Chimenko kind messages kakra punch and I was so eguso awutie punch. And I will share in Yumbri, our Kessben television, or sign ATN, our Kessben radio, and messages about in Yumbri. Credison says this NPP communicator can, okay, what he's talking about, NPP doesn't have sympathy for Ghanaians at all. You call this a free SHS. Shame onto the new Patriotic Party government. Their government is confused. This NDC communicator is a good lecturer. Okay. This one says, taking Cape Coast Metro for example, the people were crying for new MCE, but because of the regional chairman's interest, Ernest Atta was reappointed, and the assembly members listened to the cry of the people to vote against the sitting MCE. This shows that few people can decide for the whole metro because we are not voting. I prefer we vote so that we can decide the competent person for ourselves. Okay, this one is coming from Obo. Now this one says, good evening to you. Please, in fact, this evening I am sad because the MP say things are better than the past. Then I will say NPP is not a party to be voted into power, because this is the first time salaries have been increased 4%. Government of Ghana workers' salary cannot take them home. Tell the MPP man not to worry. 2024 is just around the corner. We shall see. Sammy from Cove Town sends us this message. Now this one says, John Mensah, deputy organizer, NPP from Cote d'Ivoire. NPP breaking 8 years to go to 16 years. Now this one says, this MPP shouldn't continue to annoy Ghanaians with their lies. They should stop calling or putting accusing fingers on the NDC and fix the country. For that's the reason we voted for them. KK sends us this message. Now this one says, Ayipe from Asisiwa. Lawyer, please tell the MPP rep to stop peddling what is not true. The platform as President Akufo-Addo's intention was to make even unit committees elections partisan, and discerning Ghanaians oppose his intention. We should respectfully stop pointing accusing fingers to the NDC and blame the president. Now this one says, hello, I'm Adai Ajiman. Kelvin, please let the NDC lawyer know that he shouldn't talk of the SHS foods. The food are even better now in our time. Rice and stew, and stew will be under the rice. So he shouldn't talk like that when they were in power. Was it good? This one is coming from Obuase Kwapia. Now this one says the ruling government should be ashamed of how they are managing our educational system in the country. They are not serious at all. Anytime MPP comes into power, they destroy the laid down educational structures which do not contribute any meaningful outcome to our educational sector. The MPP rep should keep quiet because he's talking politics. Okay, this one says, please, the program is in Chi or English. Okay, we are managing, we are trying. Now, this one says, good evening to you, lawyer. Tell the honorable members that the indicators they are talking about doesn't reflect in reality. Simply, Nanado is because he convinced Ghanaians that he can bring heaven to Ghana, but it seems the reading of the song has totally changed. Okay, he says Moses watching you live from Western Region in Zema, to be precise. The MMDC's issue is something else in Jomoro. The whole appointment has been in personal interest, but not in the interest of the people. This one says, good evening to you. My name is Steven from Kentampo. Please, what the man ensued is saying has no basis that the economy is doing well. He should not talk like that. Okay, this government has spoiled our educational system, economy, and now demanding for personal private jet. Hey, Amagana Semo. Well, he's saying he wants personal private jets. Okay, so the NDC man is telling Ghanaians that we should stop hiring and use the money to solve COVID-19. Okay, can the money be used solving COVID-19 matters? If yes or no, if Ghana is having its own jet too and stop hiring, which would have been better? Yaya Bandam Kwanta sends us this message. This one says the NDC man, not like Ghana. He said free education is not good. Okay. Now this one says, good evening to you, lawyer. My greatest, okay, I'll show my greetings to all your panel members. My name is Mumin from Tamale. I know if there are people come to power, they will remove this free education. What's they always against it when you post a discussion. By the way, you know, every time NDC don't want a proper tense, imagine that when you go to Google, they said they want to start freeing gas. When you want gas, you are going to buy it and take it home, but people came out and refused to go to Wednesday. When you are going to buy gas, you will not go. Okay, I'm not trying to. Okay, this one says, hello lawyer, please ask the MPP man with free SHS training and nursing allowance, what they boast of. Why did their 2016 total vote cast reduce massively in 2020 elections? This one is Las Vegas. Sefshi Bekwai. Thank you for your good works. Okay. Las Vegas in Sefshi Bekwai. Hello, good evening to you, lawyer. I am Godwin from Volta region. NDC people are hypocrites because it was Mahama who said when voted to power, he will come and polish the free SHS that he said it can never happen in Ghana when Akufo-Addo projects this to the public. Oh, so what time will you two are insulting journalists like that? He says we should not bring NDC and MPP to programs. When we invite you to, you won't come. Lord, thank you. Honorable Low has today meet his meter pa. How can you say the free SHS is not free because the students buy food? Hey, even when we were paying fees, students were still buying food. Abba he keeps on shifting from that point. Greetings to Dr. Samuel, lecturer at HOD UCC, who is from Odotobri. Tony Jacobu Fankoba sends us this message. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. Please, I am Kinshado, watching you live from Kumasi. So do NDC still have Okromaf? Have your own vehicles is better than Trotro? Well, greetings to Honorable Francis Manu Adabo, Ahafwano South East MP. Now this one says, good evening to you, lawyer, and your panelists. Your program very useful, informative, and educative. Keep it up. This one is coming from Brother Abbas Ajumako Mando in the Ajumako Enyan Isian district in the central region. I'm sure I have not butchered the name. Frank Peters Gosso says, lawyer, the MPP man is not on the ground as far as free SHS is concerned. They don't study. You dare not to repeat a student. We need to look at the free SHS again. Okay, he says you cannot repeat a students under the free SHS. I really wish you get someone who can actually take Honorable Sly on, because the NDC man dead. Yeah. Okay, I'm from Cliff. He says he's too gentle for Sly. Well, you don't know Honorable George Low. Good evening to you and your panelists. I attended Nalerigu Senior High School. Even upon free SHS, the students still eat better than what we were taking after paying school fees. This is good work, lawyer Ohene Gyan. Great Mr. President for me. He has made a good choice for Kintampo North and South. Inshallah, they will utilize for the youth of the party. Kwajo Sumala inside Kintampo North sends us this message. This one says, good evening. Okay, that is that. No other message to the good evening. About enon krapa hon sima eduasa ewo punch jumadi so ewo Kessben television and on Kessben radio enyumbre and paying for menu etwichin komo Honorable Sylvester Tete NPP MP for Botiano English among from Honorable George Low, former MP for North Dai etwichin komo enyumbre for Ghana drink Ghana ho enyumbre wadwenkyerɛ unsusuye wasembisa de ba ebekenkan ma wiase afa na nyina at a messages aba on message session. No, I promise you I'll take time and I'll read them. I'll go back to the panel and I'll come back with the messages. Now, Misha Free Honorable Sly Tete Woyemhwe asema the special prosecutor wakana and wabobo and SMP so by the producers fan enyumbre special prosecutor Kisi Ejabin say, I will go after EC officials who rig elections. Now, not on the Kwam Sifakai, Education Komo, Anope, Nana, or Kase, we sa corruption related matters, not in China, the remedy being said, we are presiding officer, and I said the presiding officer, right? At the Idra Battle, now when I am presiding officer. Na okose some figures and I saw manipulative figures be our they can the woman try and cry ma I don't know Supreme Court and I say enko court cry if more information and they will pick you on and deal with you at that level. And many people have commented on this issue. Make sure I say in free or say special prosecutor any sansema or kind relating to elections and related matters.
Me that's it, na the texters messages on about me suma back on me responding to some of them. First of all, there is a global and world standard of measurement of how every economy and I say fairly. I mean, you mean to me call obi aboto manani bank account mu enko hwese sika se ne wom anopa wedidi niam boot say scientific na system aye use and sa system na ya anom so use here for 8 years. So it is only important say ye wo krum hai the cost of capital and anko gibosia wo bank se wo di be ye ejuma ensi hu eka hu ye wa aban be di infie wotwe e wo krum ha na ukoji bosia na nam 30% e wukrum ha and aban bi aba aye ejuma in 5 years insi huna ba bedu 18%. So between these two governments they are in a papa ye wo oman mu said ye niam bo esi kosro every day ye wo nsusun ya ye de susun na etimi ho se bosumi miensen said the niam bo esi kosro wo kai say ye wo power. Now, Dr. Baumia Kachre almost say the basket omodi measure inflationary rate will krumha. Adia baku di enyapa eye bibi to say cement, building materials because adia every day be ayeto. Na inkan basket no. Ye pray buy the kan ho. Say the be say ye measure ye benya ne yie. Enti etiefo enti ase say NDC for nyame mpemu. So mo ba power kra is the same system. And you be measure a buy no. And say no be cannot see inflation yendi, interest rate yendi, the rate at which a CD depreciate yendi. Na we see kasamunya a better no minor wo buno. Ube who said the obesia bu minafa. And no money in sema ye can wasem. Sabi. Mimin say a hunchaba because me a member of parliament. Adia china oba me office. Said the nipa ba hona de ade. Yen can say Ghana ha. Bibia ededin. Sabi, or maya enyadi eni tutu womo, say America, Europe na de ade no. Ye hwe de ekoso ho. Sabi obi wa America baby obeda kroni or da street mu. Eno just America hia no bubro saa. Omo bo mo homodin. Won, eno nti etiefo ye kan sabi ene NDPP ne wo power nti wo fi say politics nti no kra no wonka. Na mimisa ye ho say ye wo man mu. Enkwalanka first no wo mu wie suku a wo mu ntumi nkọ wo mani because of hienti na hwe aduane a ye di wo ha enne na nkwala dodo na nya opportunity no mo ko school wo se aduane ne nyanti nkwala no ntina fie NDC adwen no ye se aduane ye di ma mo no nya enti ye ma nipa kitua bi nko school ye se kafo ma ne nko school na hiafo ma ntina fie ye ken o kan di ne ye di NDC fo anim o papa no ye minister wo krum ha oko ni elementary school on cry ha edu so be ko secondary school no ko temali e ko gi free SHS 30 years 35 years down the lane or see Ghana former ye ntumi fund free SHS we mu ni nyama ye ka ho asem se enya de papa o si so wo sa sika na na do di share free SHS mo na and come fa share education mo ene wasan ka biom se agenda 111 enye district bia na hia hospital wo krum ha na me person on modin say hospital we not die mu hia hospital and now say nga south ye hia hospital and konya board no mu modin na mama special prosecutor so I think say it's important. Okay? The returning officers and the presiding officers, they are not permanent officials of the EC. Dodo na ye ebia health workers, teachers, professionals adia ewo mante bi kura wo we school tifi onye adwuma. Na nukre baako wo mu say EC advertise see be high san crofo ya na political parties ehihase e pia nipa ewurem me wa ye bida ye nyina we are guilty but ye do ko gina ho na ye fa wo dwuma mu a you have a fiduciary relationship and I'm happy say you see mekai da na 2012 presidential election petition and the recent one na Afarijan he has to answer for the finger of God. Na saata na kwa branin wada. Se sika bi no waji boni bi na wadi a waji ahye ni botom wada. Na papa penimu yi ye jojo no wo TV so. Ye gu nanim ase. On tiase because your mamu training. On the face of the pink sheet, wo de kire no kika se eni a emoso. And if we are going to the core, say who now we are presiding officer no petition bar, we will not wait for the petition to ridicule the chairman of the commission. We will deal with you at the local level. I think say nipa koyo omojuma ombe ni. The infractions of 2012 elections are a show we are here for na nyina ma ehun ye. NDC for fair. So they thought say ye bra yira brewadwo. Omo so be ye election petition. Omo kodu ho. Mo pink sheet wo ye nkute bi. Mo figures mo kambo mo ekosi say. Sa ada na ho sa si dun ketia. Mfifiri ti no. Na air condition mu e no gina because we kokota I will say o kire but infractions are won him say we a presiding officer adwen boninti we ye bibie wi you are obliged to sign shall be signed. Most of them renege on that. Ebina figures are yekika boom 1 + 1 is 2 1 + 1 about 6 and if the special prosecuting is turning an eye to that, it's a good call and a good warning. Say, who could do boni etisa? Ebe ba be foul. Ebiana bonina we no. Overall, it cannot affect the national coalition as a way no. But when you are punished, it serves as a deterrent to other people because commissioner no tin crime. E ye figures are modifi from hoba no. And ye kika boom. Manatumi declare results. Na mo temper results aye ne basa. And no nye ade papa. Okay. And say ye call the source to deal with officials e wo ho na me gidi say e be boa nyina.
Be da se meba unchen e bi mi Honorable George Long enyi na dwenche on this honorable.
Well, let's start by also responding to text message in B. Generally no me say ye kasa or if you so I don't know say be ana obia anti exactly what we are talking about. But some of them are sessions on more and share that and yes sir kind but we'll let that pass. But slide can be na me one kakra. Tie Chroma Ghana. The beautiful thing about Ghana is say land size ni shifty you. Say na net. President Kufuor ejina campaign e bi sankro for they say inflation na mo kano mu wasika o mu boto mu ana o ambizaza enu de na indices no mu use na different. President Anado wan continue radio station anka say ya wasika ya tesika so accommodate enu nu na enye the same indices na ye. You see this hypocrisy will not take us anywhere. Tie enne ayedi sika amano se on transika no so and come in the end. Ba omiana on say onu waye juma wo Bank of Ghana no nim se sika ne ta hopo yemfa anya hwe na hia se bebo busia ene ebusia no omo aboa ma sesia no omo hu space cry ni wo mbetani mu in terms of busia ne bo ama World Bank ni asifo nyina I am fikra catch up say mo hwe ye de baby mo kukai ko ne nye ntinu won political hypocrisy in the upper obey propaganda as well goes yaga. And ne Ghana for nim pe face Charlie botomunye. Sikana SCT suno yehu because I did not transfer so yehu sikano. Busiana esi sikana shebango Ghana ntie embono ya boa yehu so. Inti sa eyi na won ka say na mo wa say na mo di cement abehye basket bi mu ni sa na ma enye ne yeka Ghana for ka say omo bere fix the country munye oman na enye yie enu na omo ka now mama chia special prosecutor me say yepa no I've never really formally congratulated him. I congratulated him on platforms ni Niama that we share together, but I want to take this opportunity to congratulate him. The me fair and I hear me then say, oh, I fair for na we take responsibility of things. Now who hope who I assure him say, oh, you have arrived. Now me see we have arrived. We can see ourselves as the next generation of drivers in this country. But as I saw who say, our huge responsibility on his shoulder. Intino, you're born abaso, you're born man. Say he will be very successful. Now, going on to Sir Remedy or Kase, in spite of all the other things that I want, these are some of the other remedies he wants to pay attention to. As I say, well, one of the things air cost work room her, and it's a Yakupon Edin in Sambia to Ghana. Sly can't say now be sweating you let them sweat, and it's better than fire. But say I'm so sanya manano. Now your business as usual, now you call petition. Ebedu baby no. Sani pana ye jana onu ojini 50,000 bishop boto wano a church on man okono. Onu na be mark country ha derija. Because edu baby no people will not take it anymore. It's a very important say obe set standard. No set example. Say we are na ye so umwa you'll be punished. My only prayer. And he said, Masa, there were 30-something thousand polling stations. Does the special prosecutor have the wherewithal, capacity now to monitor Sanya? Already, no problems. Our famous father, Amidu, Sly Mukofa, the buyer, ye catch from say, Charlie, the Muye, our man Fio Biano. I got to know for how many years? I got to know about 2 years, I said 3 years. She go way Yenya special. What did the okay? Or see the place has not even. He's now coming to set up and operationalize the place. Let's just say, dear, now I can't na Papa do sorry, I'm actually not a letter. No, the but I mean, all said and done. Born umpire say special prosecutor or he will be firm, he will be fair, and that's our particular electoral remedy now. See, you pay attention. He should pay attention, and yet umpire say he will get the cooperation of the EC itself and all political parties, new agents. So nebeya, dear end say dear end fatano. Omunye ewa police station. Well, like I said, bro, welcome to the hot seat. We are watching you. We are confident as young people of this country. We hope say undisappointing. The only thing I will advise is say, oh, madam, for no, if I see him, I will repeat it, but here I can say it's Kasano, onye careful kakra. Because I believe in doing and people talking about it rather than always telling people these are my intentions, this is what I want to do. Thought they be na stretches na mbuawa. Na be say bia enum dwabi keke na odi buy so na e bia na utrimu pono na ntisa. Nti I'm a special prosecutor there. Hwe nim say obaye na ejuma. Oye ni yi a be kanfo no. Wanye ni yi so dia you should expect a bashing no. E be ba in torrents. Nti onye hwe ya slime mu nyina hwe o mu yi pa
Lawyer, thank you.
And we any body for.
Honorable, you see, media, the only thing I cherish is a sustained democracy over a period of time. The ACC or other countries, so I don't just say to me here. But so far, no matter how painful it is, we lose the election, you graciously accept it and you leave. President Kufuor has started talking about his exit. That is quite refreshing. Late former President Jerry John Rawlings, we were all scared. Say, he won't hand over and all that because of where he was coming from. But was show maturity and respect for democracy. Even though when he thought, say, he had put in place structures to make sure, say, the former President Mills would have succeeded him. Painfully, they sat on the fence for 8 years. They came back, MPP, come back. Look, there's nothing like a bad democracy. And what makes democracy strong and thrive very well are the institutions that protect the democracy. And it is a human strength and to me protecting democracy or development. The only thing we have is democracy, and the institutions must be made to work. That is why I'm happy. Say the young man, even though NDC for your power, the first comment that came was he's too young to hold the position. But to call the vetting committee before Parliament, indeed, prove or the capacity to do this. Nigeria had this anti-corruption agency called EFF. They've had it until one young man came. The regime that brought him, they brought him from outside. They thought, say, he would do the business as usual, like in Nigeria. Then he started going after them. He started from the small fishes. So then he was climbing. The thing was going. Then I said, no, young man, watch here. We didn't bring you. You know, they found it hard to.
Yeah,
but in Ghana, we've shown some resilience. Say, if you are doing well, the court of public opinion will protect you. And we've seen it in many, many forms. So I wish him well. And I have no doubt in his competence. I have no doubt in his tenacity.
But
I have no doubt.
Court, former auditor general.
I mean, former auditor general.
Nani
Obi I will do retirement.
Retirement. Mu manufacture age man.
No.
Before be dangerous. Mu manufacture papa ni age man.
No, they didn't contest. They didn't contest his age.
He didn't contest his
age. He didn't contest
his age.
So for me, mu manufacture age.
Na nipa no buy no. Nipa no buy no. Sebi. He is not the only person that was appointed in the previous regime. And now I know as a Shraj boss was appointed by former president Mahama.
Yes,
nobody is saying it.
And as if Shraj said on the Domelevoye.
Oh, on there.
He hasn't come after you. He hasn't come after you. If he has come after you, you would have manufactured an age for him and tell him that he should go retirement.
So you see,
then I'm going to mean
media, yeah, call him as a minor. Yeah, more former President Obama once said, say, Africa needs strong institutions, not strong men. And indeed, it's proven to be so. Any country that strengthens the institutions, the democracy thrives. And then the citizens benefit. You all other countries. Now, the psyche of a Ghanaian is every 4 years, we show our chromatic power. And that's so important. Metia Enei, as a politician, it is either you win or you lose. There's no draw in the politics. There was a near draw in parliament. And even that, Ghanaian people, the presidency, in fact, he still remains the record holder of highest number of beating an opponent in the Fourth Republic. He set his own record, he came down, but he still holds the title. To have beaten his opponent over 500,000 popular vote. It is significant.
Yeah, sure.
In his second term.
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
I'm sure. I mean, the records are there. What's it?
Yeah, sure figures now. So I'm count 1 million.
No, but
they check here, 800,000.
So for me, an incumbent president that you were beaten to pop. So it tells you, say, democracy. There's nothing like a bad democracy. For me, I think that we here with Jumi here, the bread and butter issues and how people think, say, government should look NDC for. In the heat of 2015-2016, our voter region, on him youth, I'm telling you, say on him youth that even cares they shouldn't vote for NDC again because NDC had neglected them.
Yeah, sure.
I'm telling you.
I was in the voter region, I didn't see some.
Just I'll Google. At time no coin here, but the show. They were saying that is the World Bank, and Mahama had disappointed them. They went all over. You remember when the former minister was crying? Say, "Mutu ya disu ebe chimiatu." Jifativo. Or bunkotoju say muyi yefun ebe chimiatu. Boni be no ye. Running away nobody tanido. You see? Now who call election no see say mutu abaniti aya. Ebe chimiatu.
Say him say na mutie.
You see? So for me, I think say no, by necessarily teaching Patuma and mere allegations on radio stations would have sent a lot of people into prison. Momo now, modern crop President Mahama President Mills for 8 years. To the extent that your party chairman and the late friend is saying, kill the cat. Or see that is where the kill the cat came from. There are so many ways of killing a cat.
I know.
So the rule of law under President Akufo-Addo, under President Kufuor, that is the MPP regime. We have followed where trial had traveled. I mean, you're a lawyer. You know, over 6 years.
Oh, you want me to talk? Lawyer.
You can.
I'm saying your holiday until me. If you want me to talk, that will not lead me on.
So for me, I think say you're more modern protected institutions, not DC honor. Now that is the only way. Mrankwan is no respecter of any person anywhere in the world. But when they work, if you are president, and then Sarkozy has been handed 1 year jail term. He will do an appeal whether he will succeed or otherwise. So it tells you a former president had been tried, not because of, but you see, the funding for his campaign, his re-election campaign bid. Why embezzle Sika? Because in their laws, who raise funds? Now the Yale company declare it and donate. Yeah. What's not so? And now pinche. Sarkozy was a very powerful person. And yet the Macron and they try Sarkozy. Say Ghana and Kaubelsen Krofa Bochenku. As if say, but I am
the system works.
The system works. So the system should be
let system work too.
Exactly. So when somebody like the special prosecutor and I remember recently, almost say you invite you because BNI and look MPP tell me see here. When the likes of Asama Boati and Co were invited, people mass up at them. I mean, but today, maybe this is gradually, and they invite you beer. The first time we saw invitations was after 2001. I remember when the former first lady was invited. Me sure said George Lokra baby. Former president was invited. I remember. Me sure said I mean Nimus at me sure said Okubi. They mass up. We won't allow it. Don't invite him. Yes. But the person was only been invited for the laws to work. So it will be a manner. Just help him with the legal counsel. So that time you sure now you're a lawyer. You were young. So the we know 2001. You were not a lawyer then. But now I know. But we've traveled very far. Okay. And we hope so we'll sustain this journey now to develop our country.
Your final.
Oh well, let me say country can't be say we see corruption in a cool country. Me, I don't normally agree with that. When in the cool country way, hypocrisy and anyachu and a cool country. Say me any sly about issues. Now share issues no from say Nikware perspective. Say be kan emu Nikware pa no Ghana ha be tumpo bobre. Into no media I always advocate from leadership to the ordinary person. Yen jai nyancho.
Okay.
Esani say ye jai nyancho na problems na and our how nkitin e wo ho no e betime yi free home Ghana atumpon typical example ni free SHS one obi can say na NDC has never said free SHS. Indeed, we pride ourselves say yen na start free SHS. You start with this selected day schools ni sane. But yen no ya dwin mu ye feel say anka what's the school dan na nkrofo akom na teachers e wo ho na teaching aid ni bibia wo ho enu na wo benya quality education. The yen na anka two-pronged approach. First one is we would provide the facilities and then we'll provide the education. What in Boma, you get quality education. The can say because it has become wholesale, we are forced to compromise quality. And look, there have been traditions. And in any slide, traditions be wahwa omuna enuna abuaya ma we do. But we are pretending say those traditions are valueless. Share we abusu ya need to be ban now anya 45 aggregate 45 ni sanya man. Na man is switch na dey na go school bi. Okwa you come back na empty. Let's see free SHS. We have to take a second look at education. Media no. Na yen restructure no.
Okay.
Sebeye free ya. The free should be defined.
Okay.
What is it?
But so I see.
Yeah, those are the things that we are talking about.
We'll have another time to talk about free
to the NDC. The free means pocket money cost should be free.
Good evening to you, lawyer. I always follow this educative program. Congratulations to Honorable Catherine Rucklin, Secretary South District, Honorable George Osei, as so many sense as this message and other messages. The time is up. Madam Penny for us to say, and you bray anyone I did you. Okay, so soon our time is up. Ebeda Honorable Sylvester Tetasipagie, New Patriotic Party Member of Parliament, Botiano English among from. Honorable George Law is the former Member of Parliament, North Dye Constituency, and the Vice Regional Chairman of the NDC. One hour she said Jumadia de Bramunina, Yeda Wonina say. Once so Yeda was saying embrace, I would do a fide eto and I'll say now sign 80. Endra was my birthday. One I was sending messages. I was so humbled for the show of love. And Nyako Ponya Duma and I watch set and be sign Abetnas and Yasomo. I will punch Jumadi so I will Kessben. Nyako Pon and come home. Yakram. So